Mr. President, welcome. In Turkish for policy, you have been active for more than 30 years. Rafa Party, headed by Najmuddin Erbakan, you made report or published reports regarding the solutions of Kurdish issue. And yesterday we saw Abdullah Öcalan released a message and called on PKK to lay down its arm. How do you see this message, and do you think it was expected? Thank you very much. Without a doubt, the third day of Erbil Forum, we are here and organized by Rudaw Media Network. I came from Ankara. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone attendees, especially our friends and guests who organized this forum. And I have always monitored this forum, and a lot of important things said in this forum. Hopefully, its outcomes will have a positive impact around the region. I'm very happy, honored to participate in this forum. Today, it's Friday. It's a whole beautiful day, and it's close to Ramadan. And I congratulate you on the upcoming Ramadan. As Mohammed Saleh talked about the late Erbakan was our first journey. Yesterday, 28th of February, was the day his date of passing. I send him my condolence. He always respected the people of this region. I want to now answer the question. Yesterday, after the Öcalan's message, not only Turkey but all around the world was waiting for the statement. How I welcome, without the doubt, a lot of years I've been in this issue, among those issues. Sorry for I'm a bit ill. My throat maybe sometimes I drink water, so I'm sorry for that. Yes, I was former parliament speaker and deputy president. An anti-terror file. I'm a politician. Have monitored Kurdish issue. I know them a lot for more than 40 years. You could say 40 years. There's been a lot of up and down strategies. Now, after I was the parliament speaker, I had other positions. I've found myself in the peace process and part of the intelligence department, but the outcome wasn't good. The outcome, please let me clarify. The government did everything it could, but the organizations but tried. But always comes to my mind when I see the message from yesterday. Nowruz Day in 2013. Pervin Bultan Seri Surya Under and Ahmad Main Street called for the same thing. Lay down the arms. The arm. At that time, I was hopeful will happen, but those come. They were just a little number that implemented the agreement. Now, when the then the organization once again fought, and the today is a new day. We should talk about new things. With this all, the only people who couldn't expect it was Mr. Bakhshali. I was very shocked. Even his group didn't expect it. But there's talks that the most naughty student all sometimes stay silent, so there should be a silent in the room, and any person talked about executing, closing down Kurdish farm, but then called for ceasefire agreement. Let's see what will happen. Mr. President, please drink your water. The Öcalan's message. Will it respond to Öcalan's Bakhshali's call? But we have to wait. PKK. If the thing that we're waiting for Öcalan, the Öcalan came, he formed the organization, and he's responsible, and he's been jailed since 1999, and the only option he has is to make this message, and that's his demand, his request, and the time of armed struggle is finished, and there's readiness for this message, and so he calls the organization as a founder, hold a congress, convention, lay down your arms, and there's a order, and now we are waiting for the organization to implement those clarification. So far, we have not heard new things from the organization. They should release a statement. Mr. President, in 1990s, when you were making or writing reports about in Rafah party regarding the peace process or Kurdish issue. This subject, I've described or talked about this subject a lot. If we, if there is an understanding regarding, if there is a terror structure, we have to talk about it. I always talk this as a, we talk about the pond of terror, and there's a lot of mosquitoes around the pond, but we kill the mosquitoes, but always the pond continues, and this makes more mosquitoes to come. So we have to dry the pond. I wrote a book regarding this issue and talked about three I'll talk about, and I'll give you the book. I talked through the book. I talked about a lot of solutions about talk about freedom, talk about independence. But yes, there's might be some factors, but the main subject is anti fighting terror. And the group that's against you uses weapons, especially is the most important with that is the drying the source of the pond. If we solve the terror, fighting terror will be solved. For Turkey, we could solve it, but there's other groups outside Turkey, other groups So for Turkey, we could say we have decided, but that's related to inside Turkey, not related to outside. I always says, fighting terror. Well, should find a solution, diplomatic solution. When I was had a responsible related to this issue, Kurdish issue, like education Kurdish. Let me say for the subject of Kurdish education and study in Kurdish mother tongue, and the release of PKK prisoners. Do you think it will be talked about? When I have talked to a lot of people, respect their views. I want to tell the truth. At this time, there's no readiness for those issues you talk. Mr. Bakhshali talked one released a statement, but they have not talked about the future. Then the Turkish president, if they don't lay down their arm, they will continue to fight them. But right now, they haven't been said anything. Maybe the party talked about those issues, but right now, if do you think it's possible? Yes, it's possible. We cannot say more or focus more on that. Maybe we have to wait. We don't have to have big expectation. Mr. Nechivan Barzan, KRG President. Mr. President Masoud Barzani. After meeting the Imrali delegation, we understand they are part of the process. Well, how do you say? What do you say toward the reaction? I respect Mr. Nechivan Barzani. Yesterday's speech was very good. Before that, regarding President Masoud Barzani, the dear president, we know their views. Before that, we have met the president regarding this issue in Diyarbakir with Shivan Parwar. They are more have energy for peace process, laying down the PKK laying down the arms, and the relationship between Erbil and Ankara. How do you see that impact the peace process? The relationship between Ankara and Erbil have very good relations. We don't have any problems for a long time. Any party exists, we have good relationship with them. Regarding relations with Turkey, we are very happy with that. Their vision toward terror, we have common interests, and this closeness, especially, but personally, I know that PKK most of the time angry with the policy as well, but the honorable people, they should be against. There was a lot of reaction from Germany, from White House regarding Öcalan's statement. Then Europe, all around the world, talked about it. Regarding Turkey, regarding the reaction from international partners, Do you think it will have impact on the process? In the beginning, I respect all the reactions from around the world, especially the positive reactions. Not United Nations, especially, is important regarding this issue. The neighboring countries, the important countries are the neighboring countries, especially Iran's reactions. I'm very curious what they will say. The Bakhchali statements, if the recent change that happened in the region, geographical change, I don't think this message will happen or this process won't start. In terms of geography, I don't like the term, but now it's become reality. We have to talk about it. We have lived side by side like brother for a long time, and there was other sides who put conflict between us. They may. Maybe I'm mentioning Israel, which directs the region, as well as the Muslim countries, makes them come to them, and then attack Gaza people, and then another way with President Trump wants to have a plan to relocate the Gazan people. So besides that, and some of the regions, they have controlled them in the Middle East. That's why we say we should have a strong local front inside Turkey. And another subject is in terms of religion, and we have 920 kilometers with Syria. We have borders with Iraq. 4 months ago, I went to Hakkari, went to Sayr Hill. I saw the triangular Iraq, Turkey, Iran. I was very surprised because we are living in the same geography. Look how it's beautiful how they calm the situation here and give opportunity to each other. It's a beautiful picture, but at the same time was very concerned, very saddened from the past. The development in Syria, especially the Syria after Assad, because there should be a regime, a democratic regime that open its arm for everybody from Latakia, Tartus, everyone, Sunni, all the other people should have a live peacefully, have a constitution. Kurdish, especially Kurds, should be involved in the structure because they are the main component of the Syria, and have representative. They should have a political representative. It's very important. Do you think Ahmed Sharik could inclusive government? He has such a plan. We believe him. Without a doubt, we should look at the recent development. You see some people like the Ahmed Sharif has a background. When he becomes a politician, he goes to Damascus and controls himself and sees himself a president and wearing suits, tie, and visits Turkey as well. Look at his movement and work. It's positive. Look at his face. Look, it's very holy. You cannot lie about it. Look his background. Look at his background had relations with Al Qaeda, Daesh, and he was in prison, and then formed Tahrir al-Sham, HDS, but now we don't talk about like that. But we are not mistaken if you look at him suspiciously. But so far, the steps we see from him are positive. We met in 2011. We met with Assad. Assad told us. He told me he lived in Rojava, and he said we will become good neighbors. He always said, take me to Istanbul Borsa. Would say, why there? Because it's benefit to Turkey. I want to build one in Syria. But in 2011, later on, Mr. Tayyip, who was the prime minister, Abdullah Gül was the president. On daily basis, there were calls. He will say, please don't do that. Don't act against your people. We never forget that. We never forget the mass murder in Halabja as well. Mr. President, you said you were like a family with Assad at that time. Regarding the Kurdish issue, how do you know? I know Kurds. Mr. Tayyip, we always talked. We talked. We said Assad doesn't accept other people, doesn't accept Kurds. I tell you, especially in Kamishlo, they were representative. They told us we didn't were aware of that. In the meetings, in the files, I added that file. Why you? The Kurds who live in those Kurds who live in the region, treat them like second citizens. We in Turkey, we treat Kurds same rights. Together we established the Turkish Republic. Trust me, he promised us. Later on, sometime with some of them, he agreed on. I don't want to go into details. Some those who live in those there's very closeness and relative between the border region between Turkey and Syria. There were a lot of connections, but then he promised us. Mr. President, Assad is gone, fall. But there's concrete buildings between Kurds and just as between Erbil and Ankara. Will you have same relationship with Syrian Kurds as you have with Kurds in Iraq? You talked about the the security borders. Look, if we when we had good relation with Syria, we cleared all the area from mines. We talked about think about tomorrow. Leave the even the tender there was problem. Should we give it to who? We cleared all the bombs and mines from the area. Still, we are being criticized. Look, Turkey clearing the mines from the and later the other things came up. We built those concrete walls, and then when the peace returns, all those will be removed without a doubt. And physically, you could lift all those walls because the most important is stability. If we have a strong peace, the wall will be removed. That's why we have to work. The relationship you have with Erbil, can you have the same relationship with Kurds in Kamishlo? Yes, but it's very possible after the Ojala message. The poets say always say, if anyone has hope, you cannot cut the bread of other poor people. That's why if I come have the same request, what will happen? So what will happen to the fighters? What destiny holds for them? We have made research and reports on that, on peace, world peace. Yes, there's people, other people who have made peace, but we've done a lot of things, but we have not things in return. So after that, the building trust should be solved. We will have new beautiful developments. I always say the benefits of sitting directly to each other will be more stronger. They will lay down their arm. There's member of parliament. So if you have a member of parliament or a parliament representative, you can solve a lot of issues. I'm very angry toward those people who are not representative of their people. I'll always say you have representative of the parliament. You should do your things. Is there any there's preparation for new constitutions? Is which constitution is suitable for Turkey? There's been a long time when Can Evren, the constitution, wrote, "You as a lawmaker." And 3 part of those constitution has been changed. Regarding this subject, before the parliament, I worked on it in 1995 when I went to parliament. 25%, 25 years were very active. I was member of Rafa party. We requested for change of the constitutions, amendment, and there was preparations as a resolution. They had the same view that there should be a constitution. The change was in 2010 when there was a referendum for the amendment of or the change of the constitution. We talked about when I'm talking about colleagues, I mentioned all of them. They said the constitution is amended a lot. We don't need a change of the constitution. And then in 2008, we were sued because and we're accused of changing the constitution. We want a constitution that's democratic, based on democratic values, and shouldn't be imposed on will of people. Should be imposed by military. It should be done via parliament, and it should be a referendum. People vote on it, and I'd said the referendum is important. It should have an outcome because it's important. You have to accept the outcome or the vote of people, what their views is. So then a majority will occur and the democracy will occur. And you see the democracy value, it should be a majority, it should be on agreement, it should be on partnership. No, it should not be imposed. It should be on majority, not imposed. I'm old, so I forgot. It should be on democratic value, based on democratic value. We have a lot of examples. Some of them are old. Some of them are not constitution. But there's other topics that people are agreed on. There should be the missions and the rights that our citizens really understand of should be talked about. However, those you give rights and then you take it away. You give it to a spoon and then take it away with a bucket. We don't want that. 75 article, now it became 180. The people should understand and should constitution easily. Mr. Jangis, remember, we have a so official swearing. When you talk about, you don't understand it clearly. There's a few articles, there's a few words, you don't understand it. Like, what, for example, mulak. No one knows what's that topic. Yes. Yes, the Article 6 talk about a lot. Can we change the Article 6? Who will write the new constitution? I want to talk about another thing. You cut off my mind. There should be this after 2017. Now it's a presidential system. Before that, it was a parliament system. I was the parliament speaker. I was parliament system. I used to say, with parliament system, the parliament is designed based on that, and how to make laws, and this monitor. We are representative of the people, but then I said, if you think about presidency system, should be an example of another country like U.S., like France, except that a local system won't work. I shouldn't have said that. Yes, there's a lot of shortages, and the system will collapse or will continue with the same current situation. Right now, the Republic president is a party president as well as Republic president. According to my experience, that I don't want to take your time a lot. I cannot answer those questions in position, but benefit from our time. Article 66, yes, we are mentioning it. There's some people who are lawmakers in Republic Palace against it. Anything you say, those people say, no, it's banned. You cannot do anything. There's a saying. Anything you say, Mr. Aydin, it's changed. Mr. Aydin's changed. So my opinion is correct. Mr. Aydin's wrong. Mr. Aydin should listen. Look, maybe we agreed on. That's the main topic. In the world, the world has come to this. Free speech is a very beautiful thing. Different opinions is a beautiful thing. Listening to the opinion, listening to views is some of the speech. If you see when you talk to someone and you tell them something that they don't like, that's the free speech. Not the things they just want to hear. There was a member of parliament, I don't forgot his name, in Nauros. He said, because of his speech, was that a DTP or that this part is always closes and a new one opens. There's no alphabet letter that now it used to be Hajipi. His name was Kamal. I don't know his name. Aktash. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was. Yes. It said member of parliament should be expelled and be prisoned, and he will be kicked out of parliament. And you said, and they asked me, I said, yes. Somebody said, Mr. Öcalan is in prison, and now, after a year, said Mr. Öcalan, this doesn't cause any problem, and he was free. So these things should end. This time, another topic, as EU Human Rights Court says, until says we should fight terror. They always criticize me in YouTube videos, but I am very honored for those moments. But you see, the person who imprisoned was a child because he was celebrating Nowruz, not talking positively about Öcalan. Participated in Nowruz in Iran. It was nothing about terror organization. There was no violence. He just resigned, and yeah, violence and slogans saying the organization's brave and it's good. I received a report. This is a bad thing. This is a big negative point. If a slogan see it as a terror activity, that's a bad. That's why democracy issue, EU Human Rights Court always outlines the line of democracy to respect minorities, to respect components of the society, Syrian, Armenians, Jews. They had their reactions. They sat with the prime minister. If this rights, they should give it to them. This is not a self thing. And they have a belief. If they have rights, they should be given the rights. And Turkey then will be respected around the world. I'll say the thing that until 2023, and then something came up. I want to ask you another question, Mr. President. The meetings with regarding becoming a member of EU, and then the talks collapsed, and then there was a lot of negative reports from EU. You, as a president, when you became president, you had a plan to become a member of EU and to have zero problems with the neighboring countries. Those were projects. And regarding the mother tongue, before you had a lot of statements regarding the rights of using mother tongue in schools, and you said this is not crime. Later, what should in the future, what should be done, especially right now? There's some aspect of mother language in education in universities. what should be the plan for the future. Those teachers who are not being hired, the first was 250 teachers. Before that, we grew up in a Izmir culture. Yes, my vision, I have a national vision, and the nationalistic view was they were against Turkey becoming EU Parliament or EU member. At that time, there were 4 parties were closed down since 1970. From the start, in the 1970s, and then there was a Nizam party. Later, 1980s, there was a military coup. I was still in politics, and then I became a politician. I became a member of parliament in 1989, and then Rafa party came up. I was the head of Rafa party fiction, and then when the party shut, Mr. Erbakan formed new parliament, Saadat, Fazilat, Mr. Tayyib or Mr. Abdullah Gul. We continue after Rafa shut down. We continue. My belief was we should do politics in Turkey. We should have democracy. We formed AKPA. AKPA came up as a result of those outcomes, and it continued to this day. And then when we became a ruling party, I became a parliament speaker, and the election happened. I became a parliament speaker, but 4 fictions were against it. One of them, the military commanders told us, we don't want you. You were against Ataturk. And then they made the life of Mr. Erbakan as a hell for me too. The third group was the traitors. Now they have been banned. The fifth holding ban, and the media were all against us. If anything, if we say that today the sky was clear today, they will say no, it is not clear, and so they were all against us. With all those forces against us, how we could continue? We say that was the public's opinion that we continue, but they will say no, that's not the public's opinion. And then we thought we were outside the but we continued to. We had the view that we should become a member of EU. Member, they had a lot of regulators. They had a lot of. We look at it. They were very good. We talked about Turkey. They had a lot of murders. There's a lot of Saturday mothers who are still waiting for their sons to come back. At that time, among ourselves, we decided we will continue and be truthful with the EU, and it's been a long process for 58 years. It goes back, but we decided it's a mission to become a member of EU. We will tell Europeans, we will be truthful and If they are truthful, we'll become a member. We implement the parliament system. Mm. Some of the European countries had a good relations with us, especially Germany and France. But Germany and France are against this. Sorry, most some of the obstacles were removed, but those obstacles, some of them remain, and some of them changed. But we calmly waited for the response. When Joseph Borrell came, when I invited him to Parliament, they told us to be calm. Our delegation will go to Spain, but the tomatoes will be thrown at them because of those issues. When we went to Portugal, the Portugal member speaker was very calm, stay calm, and I say why? We have investigated your path, and they told us that France, some of the members of France are against it. But at that time, I remember they told me, they told us they were here like Portugal wants to become a member of EU. Some asked, who's Portugal? Where is Portugal? UK as well twice vetoed us, and we expected this result, this outcome will finish in this process in a few years, but and we thought that if the peace process is continue, we will have positive impact, but then nothing came up. And some of the topics, especially the main requirements, if you don't feel, if you had implemented and the obstacle didn't that much bigger, we could have become a member. But a lot of events happened, like Ghazi Park issue, and then the filed military coup in 2015. All the things were continue to go positively, especially in those countries whose population are Muslim. I used to meet with the parliament speakers, like Egypt, where Egypt was against it, but some of them told us if you become a member of European Union, you represent us as well. Yes, we could say we could start again. The latest speech by President is very positive. Yes, EU in need of us. In my belief, we will have a very good strategy between Turkey and EU any day, because we should have a hopeful. Look at this Arbil Forum, become an example for this. I hope. I want to ask you a question. There's a topic that has a lot of discussion. The last convention of AKP party, the Republic President talked about the 5 reforms, and you talked about free speech and free opinion, freedom of expression. Regarding the freedom of expression in the constitution, what should be happen within the institution? There should be outlined and clarified. Look, we talked about a lot of increased an article within constitution. Uh, they shouldn't be saying that. Criticism is a right. A Muslim ca- the Holy Prophet always says, how much we open toward criticism, that's much better. There's people who should be more open. So there's been the culture of criticism within our society. So should respectfully listen to criticism. Like TÜSİAD, which is the union investment, Turkish investment union. When they criticized me, we should talk about, sit down and tell them they are not should clarify. We should allow criticism, but that criticism should not be suspicions or decriminalizing or fake or unhealthy. You have to that criticism should be expected as a freedom of speech. I talked about Maulana's speech. If says if everyone has same opinion, means no one thinks. Now I want to take a few questions, Mr. President. At the back, lady, please. This is not expected, but if there's call for investigative, I was I should have I don't expect or should have been as a principle call them invader forces. But regarding the human rights violation, we are very careful with that. Going into Syria, the president in Syria is a right, but we don't we don't have any vetoes toward the people. Maybe some people individually should talk about in your reports. Uh, uh, in Rafidin Express book, it's a roadmap to Kurdish solution in Turkey. In the book, the openness of Turkey is going through Kurd. How do you look at this? As Mr. Cengiz Jandar talked about Kurd, the solution of Kurdish issue in Turkey is the thinking of the issue should be solved, and how it will be solved through Poland, who sees Kurd as a mosquito. Solve the pawn, or we can, or I don't think that should be solved like that. As Mr. Cengiz mentioned, if there's a extremist ideology, that should be solved. The subject of Cengiz Chandar, that's not related to me. Regarding the example, the example I use, like the pond and mosquito, you want to have a different opinion. I don't like that. For more than a few years, I see terror as a pound. Of those, the pawn produces mosquito, not monkey, and that's your mistake. If you think that I say Kurds as a mosquito, that's you're wrong. Those who think like that, they exist in Turkey. Everyone thinks that who's a Kurd is a PKK. They think who vote for that party is PKK. That's not true. Those who are not to PKK and not PKK activists, there's millions of Kurds, and they are our brothers. Those who porn producers believe the militant who are PKK militant. We should not be use violence. Mr. Cengiz Chandar, I respect Mr. Cengiz, but I am concerned when I say mosquito as things as Kurds. I reject those. I love Kurds in Western Turkey. They hate me. Why you talk about that I use Kurds as mosquito? That's not good. We saw yesterday Mr. Öcalan's message. He was openly called for peace and lay down the arm. But now, so far, no reaction has been, clear reaction or clear statement has been said regarding peace with Kurd. The question is the Turkey has a clear map for peace process with Turkey? Is there and table topic between Turkey, Öcalan, and U.S.? But there's people say Öcalan now has put Turkey in a crisis. What's the alternative if there's no peace process? This is Mr. Öcalan's statement. I don't have the opportunity to read it, but the first talk about peace process. Look, I've underlined it. This is a positive step. This is a positive step. Just as you said, if if this if this doesn't succeed, this is just a advisory, and he calls on the PKK. I established this organization. Now I'm ordering you, do a convention, and lay you down your arms. So that's the beginning. If this starts, and that's why have expectation, but don't have a big expectation. So it's an opening. First, to open the door, first you have to have the key, and then to push it. If the door opens positively and implement this request, there will be positive development. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very happy I see you because Kurdistan region is an harmony, place of harmony, place of a brotherhood. You as a former parliament speaker, just shortly, I want to do your personal opinion regarding peace process after two times still, and what's do you think Öcalan's message will impact all PKK? Well, I want to know your personal opinion. Uh, that time there was parliament, and now the policy is different in Turkey. Is that clear? My question? Yes. So, spasibo për sjareket. Thank you very much for your question. I want to tell you short, so that don't take a lot of time. When I talk to some of the journalists, I'm no water seller. I am a politician. I have position. As I said, I'm shocked because I didn't expect such a step. When Dawood al-Bakhshali said every day that organization should be shut down. Now he says there should be talks. That's why I'm shocked. And I asked why we want Öcalan to come to parliament, because doesn't legally it cannot happen. It has its own program. Why come to parliament and why to talk within dumb party? I don't understand. Was amnesty? It was a general amnesty, and there should be if it's a general amnesty. There should be hope rights. It's a beautiful right, and the court has decided on, and I believe it's I spotted. I said, and I asked why, and then they left Parliament, and the delegation came and come and go. We have reached this stage, so that means we didn't receive the answer, but the outcome came. It's a written statement. It's a video. In my opinion, it should have been a video statement because in the past, he says, you cannot do a same act twice. In 2013, I was in the process. There's a lot of change has happened. That's why those delegation that went to Imrali, the MPs and the lawyers, and the Kandil, when they went to Kandil, and Kandil came back with a message. They told us that he's under authority of the Turkish government. We don't listen to him. At that time, we were thought the calls would be implemented, and after the Istanbul election, a Turkish professor went there. I don't want to talk about the details. Wrote a letter, and he said when the lawyers went there, and the letter was read, and there was called that Kurds who live in Istanbul to be neutral, and they listened to him there as well. Today now we're asking those people who didn't implement 2013 and 2017. What do you expect to say or to do after? That's why I have my concerns. I want the organization or the group or PKK under pressure. They don't have a lot of activities now. It's better now to take this opportunity and just not turn himself into stuck in a corner. If they don't do this, there's a statement from President from Bakhshali that if they reject this, the fighting will increase and intensify, and they will be responsible. Now we all wait for the outcome. What will happen? But the word of peace is used a lot. Now we miss peace. There's a Maulana famous quote. You love Shamsi Tabrizi, and every day he was waiting for Shamsi Tabrizi's news. When he gave the message, Shams has came back. Maulana gave his house as a gift for the messenger. But when it was clear the messenger was lying, Maulana said, "I know he was telling the lie, but I gave my house to a lie. If it was true, I'll give my life." So let's be hopeful, positive. Mr. President, let's end it with Maulana's speech. Thank you very much. Thank you for participating in Arab Forum. I thank you. Hopefully we meet again. If I made anyone angry with my speech, please everyone listen to me. Sometimes I don't expect all the things. I hope a great day. Hope for great Ramadan with the new great news. Thank you very much. The lady, please put her hand up.
زۆر سپاس بۆ هاتنت بۆ ئێرە و من ناوم سارە سامپەرە لە هیومەن ڕایتس واچ کار دەکەم. هیومەن ڕایتس واچ باسی لە چەندین تاوان کردووە کە هێزە داگیرکەرەکانی تورکیا و هێزی نیشتیمانی سووریا لە سووریا دەیکەن، لەوانەش کوشتن، دزەیکردن، تاوانی سێکسی و دانیشتوانە کوردەکانی سووریا بەڕاستی ناڵەیان بەدەزەمەوە بینیوە. تورکیا چی دەکات بۆ ئەوەی لێپرسینەوە لەم تاوانانە بکات کە هێزەکانی SNA هێزی نیشتیمانی سووریا دەیکەن کە تورکیا پاڵپشتیان دەکات، وهروەها چی دەکات بۆ ئەوەی بەرپەرچی ئەم تاوانانە بداتەوە و ڕێگری لەم تاوانانە بکات؟